Andrea Hardy and her 3 daughters lived next door to the Ruddy family, on Bentinck Road in Elswick, Newcastle, England. Hardy claimed that the walls of her terraced house were so thin that she and her family could and did frequently hear doors closing and people walking up the stairs. But on the night of December 12, 2014, she heard nothing. Until Martin Ruddy, 28, the Ruddy's son, knocked on her door at 10:30 p.m. and informed her that his parents had been murdered by a bunch of attackers. Hardy and her male friend followed Ruddy back to the man's parents' home, where they attempted to resuscitate the victims. Despite being brought to the Royal Victoria Hospital, the Ruddys were confirmed dead on the scene. The police were summoned, and Detective Chief Inspector Andy Fairlamb led the inquiry. They discovered the Ruddys. Eric, 64, had sustained blunt force damage to the head as well as many knife cuts. His 54-year-old wife, Carol, had 2 marks on her neck from strangling. At the site, authorities questioned Ruddy, who provided a precise description of the 2 individuals who committed the murders, stating that one had red hair and the other had brown hair, and that both were dressed in dark clothing and gloves. However, scientific evidence and CCTV footage revealed no signs of outsiders in the Ruddy family home. And a recording of Ruddy's mother Carol contacting 999 at the time of the incident, and instructing the police to attend to her house right away revealed no proof of an intruder. Furthermore, authorities later discovered that, on the day of the murder, Ruddy, who was in debt, had gone to his parents' residence, and urged them to help him pay off his debts. Ruddy had previously received £4,000, but still owed more than £5,000 that was due to be paid off immediately under his payment plan. But this time his father refused to assist him, because Eric's savings from his early retirement from his job as a waste collector were set aside for his wife Carol, Ruddy's mother, who had suffered a stroke. Carol, who had previously worked at Newcastle University, had a stroke roughly 9 years ago that left her incapacitated. Ruddy, driven by wrath and a desire to control his parents' money, beat and stabbed his father to death before strangling his mother with an HDMI wire. With the evidence in hand, the father of 2 who previously lived in South Tyneside, Tyne and ran a security company and a bodybuilding supplement shop, was arrested on December 13, 2014, and charged with his parents' murders on December 14. During his trial at Newcastle Crown Court, which began in January 2015, prosecutor John Elvidge QC told the jury that Ruddy was the single beneficiary of his parents' will, and would have inherited nearly £90,000 from his father if both his parents had died. The prosecutor also stated that Ruddy's life was out of control at the time of the killing, and his marriage was on the verge of collapse. So he decided to stage an attack on his father with a knife, but he slashed his face 3 times with a serrated knife as he lay dead on the floor to make it appear like an intruder. And Judge Paul Sloan QC added that Ruddy then strangled his mother, who managed to call 999. In June 2015, Martin Ruddy, 29, was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 35 years.